Good afternoon. Preserve the energy of your life. Preserve the energy of life. Good afternoon and welcome to the Wisdom of Life channel. And we are going to explore a topic which is about life energy, the life force, and why it is important for we to preserve it. Why it is principally important for us to be on guard about dissipation of energy, right? Because when you think about life, what is life? Life is a form of energy that allows organisms to live. Because when this energy goes out of any living thing, you can go to the living thing and then touch it just maybe few minutes after it is dead. After it is dead, all the body will be there, the blood vessels and everything will be there intact. But there will be no life in it. It's sort of mysterious, death when it comes. So it seems as if a force is taken out of the living being, leaving the physical body there, and the brain, essentially the seat of the intellect. But this living thing is no more conscious. So life is sort of like brought in by a form of conscious energy that animates things, that makes them to be aware of their surroundings and their bodies and also themselves. Self-awareness, consciousness. There is an energy that brings consciousness to the body. It makes everything to come alive. It is in us, it is in animals, it is in insects, it is in lizards. And some will even say that even non-living things have this energy to a sort of primordial level. A level that maybe is only a especially gifted people who can, sort of interact with that dimension. We do know, essentially that life is an energy, a conscious energy, an animating energy force. The ancient Chinese have studied this in detail, and that's why a lot of interesting emerging philosophies came out from that end. They call it the Tao, and this energy within it they call it the Qi, which is the energy of life. And this teaching is maybe ancient in their teachings, but it didn't start there. Ancient Egypt also has a similar teaching, call it the Ka, which is the energy of life. Yeah. So if you just think about it, there's a certain energy which is in the cells everywhere that makes cells to come alive. If a cell is dead, and I walk in the lab and I see cells that are dead and not alive, there's no physical difference between them. But a cell that is alive is able to move, is able to reproduce. Whilst a cell that is dead is not able to do all this. When all physically they are the same, they resemble each other. So it is the life force. Yeah. But this it goes along with an energy though, which allows the organism to be animated, being at full force, and also diminishes. And this is where I want to talk about how to preserve this energy from dissipation and how to use it to maximum benefit. Now, before we go into that, let us examine the three states of the existence of a human being. The human being exists in three levels. The first level is the deep spiritual part, which is the essential life part I'm referring to. Let's call that the spiritual part. This is the innermost part of the human being, the place where you are aware that you are alive. No reasoning, no consciousness. Just think about it. Take a second and pause. There's a part of you that is just aware, deep within you, right? So that is, let's call that the spirit in you. The second part is the part that thinks who you are. For example, if I ask you who you are, you will say, I'm an English person, or I am Mandinka, or I'm Wolof, or I'm an Indian. That part which rationally knows you. I like red color, or I like blue color, I am black, I am white. There is a part of you which is rationally aware of you. Yeah, that is your intellectual self-definition. Very important distinctions here. Please pay attention to this. So we are intellectually aware of ourselves. And there's a part which is constantly alive, deep within us. Is this conscious? Subtle distinction here. That intellectual awareness of ourselves is what some people call the ego. So it is how we define ourselves. That one is fluid. It changes because it comes from your surrounding, how your parents brought you up, which culture you grew up in. And you can take the same people. For example, two black people, one is grown up in a Western society, one is grown up in African society. They will have two different conceptions of themselves. Even though they may all see themselves as black, but because of their cultural conditioning, they will differ. But again, it goes down to the individual level, based on unique individual experiences and the unique gifts that the person has come up with, their mental dispositions. They will carve out a unique identity, understanding of themselves. This is the rational part of. This is the intellect. This is the second part. The third part is the body, the physical body. We differ, minor kind of differences between us. Right? Most black people share the same phenotype. White people share similar phenotype. Indians, Chinese, it goes on and on, right? But we all share the same human frame, body. Yeah. So we have the spirit, which is the inner part, and you have the intellectual part of the human being, which is the ego, body, the intellectual aware part of ourselves, and we have the physical body, right? These three are interrelated and they work together and they sort of like infuse on each other, yeah. But all of them have ways in which they sustain the energy so that the individual is alive and active and is able to do what it wants to do. For example, love and positive feelings, creativity, and all those things. The soul feeds on these things. The soul is nurtured. The inner part of the human being is nurtured by love, by consciousness, right? By and it is fed by these emotions through the intellect. Intellect is also the gateway to the soul. It is there, like feeding the soul with good words which generate good emotions, and then this will be interpreted by the soul as positive feelings, or as feelings of love, as feelings of oneness, and things like that. It dwells on those very higher rationalistic tendencies, things like oneness with the source, which is God. Yeah, the soul is very much aware of these things, whether you are acting along that path, like the path of God, let's say, which is a part of virtue, which is part of real consciousness, which is the path of seeing your relationship with everything else that exists, because this is a template of reality. Reality means everything else is interconnected, energetically, atomically, electronically. Everything else is interconnected. So our soul is very much aware of this, and when we act along these lines, it interprets that as, yeah, this is alive, this is good, this is somewhere wherein I can come out and manifest myself more. So you're allowing your soul more freedom to enter your body and to experience the world around you, because your intellect and your body is the interface through which your soul experiences with the physical world. The soul doesn't directly interact with our world. It interacts with our world through the body and the intellect. The body is like a spacesuit, or like a car, or something that it uses to travel in this world. So it is not directly here, but even though it is here, they're very interesting. So the soul is fed by positive actions, good thoughts, good actions, kindness, love, and all those things, right? The intellect is nurtured, it's made strengthened by thinking, and thinking positive thoughts as well. And things like engaging in mathematical activity strengthens the mind. Things like engaging in creative works strengthen the mind, like drawing, writing poems, and meditating along those lines. It strengthens the mind. Memorization, because the just like random access memory, the more it's able to recall its experiences, the stronger the